Bitcoin briefly breaking above $70,000. Who will win the presidential election? This is Donald Trump out of nowhere surging. There are some really bullish looking data points, and there's no secret, everybody, in terms of who I want to win the election. I want Trump to win this election. There are some really nice data points, and I'm trying to tame my excitement. I don't want to get ahead of this. We have to watch how this day plays out. But right now, you can see the markets, how they might react with a bullish Donald Trump win. And this is how crypto is reacting. But I want to dig deeper into that. And as we really start dissecting the charts, I'm going to dig into the daily chart and just discuss what to maybe anticipate. There's something on the weekly chart that I really want to discuss. That's kind of like this anomaly that really gives us a hint of what is happening right now compared to last cycle. And something different is happening right now on this chart. And I'm kind of excited to break that down for you. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in, and let's jump into it. So before we even get into the charts, I do want to mention something in relation to the elections. This is Anthony Pompliano's Substack. I was on it a little bit earlier. And in today's Substack, he said, if you think Trump's going to win, you've been buying U.S. equities. If you think Harris is going to win, you've been buying U.S. equities. If you don't care who becomes president, you've been buying U.S. equities. Namely, he's bullish on markets, especially after these elections are over. Financial markets love certainty. That is what we're all going to get by the end of this week. America will know who the next president of the United States will be. I hope. I really hope. I had a Substack out yesterday on the newsletter discussing the potential for a split verdict. If we don't know who's going to win, if there is this struggle within the courts, what this might mean for Bitcoin and crypto in the long term. If you're not a subscriber over on my newsletter, please subscribe. There's a link below. But let's discuss this now. Let's kind of pivot into the charts a little bit and kind of just look at what is going on. We've been laying the groundwork with this data that you see on the screen. After each U.S. election week has set a Bitcoin price floor that's never been revisited. That's next level insane to think currently, even if you look at a daily chart, we might never go lower than this moment. That's historically every time what has happened. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I think that's exactly what's going to happen. We have to be prepared that this cycle would be different. But that chart is incredible to look at as we are here right now. This is the day. Every 4 years, this day appears, and we are there now. Here's a little bit of a different take on it. Being a bull taught me that history always repeats. Bitcoin drops before elections, but look at what happens next. He's saying history always repeats. But we covered this data as well in terms of maybe some volatility going into the elections, but look at these green boxes. Look at what happens next. And so here we are. This is the weekly chart. You all know this is why I'm bullish, or this is the monthly chart, I should say. But let's look at the weekly chart. I wanted to mention something, and then we'll dig into the shorter term price of Bitcoin, and we'll look at, obviously, the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and ETH. I'm talking about altcoins. So here's Bitcoin right now on the weekly. I have over here, just a note, anomaly. We are right here, but better. Because if you look at this chart, we kind of surged out of the bear market. We broke below the 20-week moving average, which is kind of a bear market concern, by the way. We saw support at the 50-week moving average, and now we're breaking back above the 20. So the move happened last cycle, if you really look at it, all the way into the bull cycle through the 20-week moving average. So there's the fall through the 20-week moving average, the bounce off the 50-week moving average, and back up. Here's that kind of second swing high of the bull market. Now, here's where the anomaly is. We can't just look at that technical move and say, hey, that's what's happening. So we're going to go a little higher and then it's game over. Kind of similar to what happened last cycle. Here's the anomaly. Do you realize where we are in the cycle? And this is so important. The time frame data of these charts, as we're looking at the technical analysis, is so important. Here's Bitcoin halving last cycle to, let's just say, Bitcoin escaping the 20-week moving average and starting to break away. 504 days after the Bitcoin halving. Now, where are we this cycle? Right now, we are only 203 days after the Bitcoin halving. If you look at these purple lines on the screen, you all know if you've been watching my videos, this represents kind of altcoin season. This is where altcoin season happened last cycle and previous cycles before. If you zoom out on the Bitcoin chart, I kind of have it back here, right? So I shouldn't say previous cycles before, but basically that 2017 cycle. So we're not even there yet. And if you look at this chart, Bitcoin was just entering the bull cycle at that moment, the parabolic bull. So we are not here in terms of time frame. And that is what is so insanely bullish about this chart. we are at the ground floor of the parabolic bull cycle. Altcoins haven't even started. Some have, but altcoins haven't even started yet. And we have this setup now with elections and all of this election data. And we have even just a setup of all of these other bullish fundamental data points, Bitcoin ETFs, crypto ETFs, everything that's happening. I'm not even going to get into it in this video. We have a lot fueling this bull cycle that is here. So it's very cool to see a very similar technical move, but very different in terms of where we are in the time frame. And if we look at let's actually look at the monthly, because this will really just show you how much momentum we have to the upside. This is last cycle. There's the move that we just discussed. And actually the breakaway, that last swing high in the bull market was right here on Bitcoin on the weekly. Look where the momentum oscillator was, the RSI. It was already overbought. We went through the bull move, the parabolic momentum move. We fell and we're just trying to put in this swing high. Guess what? The post-Bitcoin halving, overbought, parabolic move, bull move has not happened yet. It's happened every cycle, post-Bitcoin halving. It has not happened yet. That is in play. That is how much we have for the upside. But I digress from that. Let's talk about the shorter term, because here we are on Bitcoin. We're in a very unknown environment on the short term. We don't know who's going to win the election. We don't know how markets will react to the election. And so I really just want to really tame expectations and excitement. One thing I am curious, in 2020, this was last election. You can see this green candle here. This was on November 5th. You can see Bitcoin put in like 11 to 12% move. And that's something I'm curious to see, just how the daily candle closes today. When we start getting polling results coming in and we start just seeing potentially what direction this is going, how is this candle going to react on the short term? Are we going to get some type of, uncertainty, fear candle where we're falling, or are we going to get a really bullish candle? I think if it's looking good for President Trump, I think there's a strong possibility we could get a strong daily candle. But if that is the expectation, we've seen in crypto many times, it's sometimes the opposite happens. So please just be prepared for anything in the short term. Now, let's talk about just the technicals real quick. What's happening on the chart? We put aside all the election stuff, the news events. We're testing this upper trend line right now. We're in the middle of the throwback. I'm not going to harp on it. We've been talking about it nonstop. And now we're just continuing to monitor. Can we get the support at this upper trend line with the fail-safe support down here at these other moving averages? The 50-day at 65.5 and the 200-day at 63.5, right in that area. So let's just call it 63 to $65,000 is that kind of fail-safe support. Maybe markets are just jittery and we don't get a bullish move today, tomorrow, and we're falling. I'm looking for support there. But what if we get a bullish move? It's continued separation from this trend line now is what I'm watching. And especially, can we get a close above the 20-day moving average, around $68,700 or so? Bitcoin is right above that area. So in the next 8.5 hours, we have a daily candle, a very important daily candle getting ready to close, and we have a lot is going to progress and happen with the election day today. So what this means for total crypto market cap, I think we know what it means on the macro. Everything is set up very nicely. If we look at last cycle around this moment, and we can just go literally to the beginning of November, right here, it was just straight up consolidation on altcoins. While Bitcoin's about to break all-time high, look, this is where altcoins are from their previous all-time high. Really just kind of hadn't made the move yet. So this is where we are right now, and it's exactly the same right now. A little bit of a different structure and consolidation, but the way in which the moving averages, even the 20-week closing in on the 50-week, look at this springboard right now. It is set, everybody. If Bitcoin explodes, this chart is ready to go parabolic. Again, not guaranteed. Again, I realize I'm excited. I sound bullish because I am. In the back of my mind, though, please realize I'm not so bullish and so hype that I refuse to believe that we can't go lower, because we can. These markets, they're very manipulated. These markets sometimes don't deliver upon expectations. We know that for sure. And oftentimes, if it's looking like it is ready, sometimes it just takes a little longer. So I'm really just trying to just tame my excitement, but I'm telling you, from a multi-cycle perspective, we wait years for this moment. And for me, it's definitely fun tracking. So let's see how elections play out today, everybody. I'm straight up praying for Trump to win. I'm praying for this country, and we have to pray for this world in general. So everybody, I appreciate you cruising through. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I really appreciate you watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.